And just how accessible are public records? Your tax dollars are paying for that information. Those are your records.
But as KOIN 6 investigative reporter Carla Castaño found out, government agencies like Metro are charging tens of thousands of dollars for public information. Information they already have.
There are loopholes large enough to run an elephant through, I guess you'd say.
As editor and publisher of the Northwest Examiner since 1986, Alan Klassen knows a thing or two about the fight for public information within Oregon public records law.
These are public records. We are entitled to them, no question. But if you make them expensive enough, in practical terms, they aren't available.
Klassen's biggest battle to date came from Metro last year.
The bill came to $18,000.
Klassen wrote an editorial calling Metro out about the fees he was quoted in the paper's last issue. The headline reads, "Propaganda cheap, public records pricey." The Northwest Examiner was looking into the elephants at the Oregon Zoo and the 2008 Oregon Zoo bond. Klassen tells me they were prevented from doing the story they wanted to by the price tag of those records. KOIN 6 ran into that roadblock. I was quoted $17,000 for the same information. This after Klassen tells me Metro backtracked on the figure he was given, and that's only after he asked for a price breakdown.
They finally dropped off two small items, $760 worth. They said, well, you know, maybe that wasn't real.
Here's how Metro justified the high price to the Northwest Examiner. For medical information on the elephants since 2006, among other employee costs, a veterinarian would need 25.2 hours of time to compile the information. Elephant curator Bob Lee, 33.6 hours. To gather the information on elephant breeding plans, the curator would need 29.6 hours and the vet 22.2. That's in addition to paying for 17 hours of work for 8 other employees. And remember, these are public records Metro already has.
These were very generalized, inflated estimates.
When Metro quoted KOIN $17,000 for the same information nearly a year ago, I sent this email to Metro Communications Director Jim Middaugh asking for clarification and an itemized list for the quote. My email on June 20th reads, $17,000 is by far the most outrageous price I have ever been quoted when it comes to getting documents for the public. Are you sure that this is accurate? Please provide me with a breakdown of associated costs. I have said I'm willing to simply view the documents at your offices. Also, I'm willing to work with you as much as possible, but it seems as though it is getting to be an unreasonable amount of time to not get a single document. KOIN still has not received an itemized breakdown after almost a full year.
This is a strategy. They definitely do not want this information out.
Oregon lawmakers, both Democrats and Republicans alike, agree public records law reform is needed. Governor Kate Brown has recommended 3 pieces of proposed legislation to tackle the issue. Senate Bill 9 has passed the Senate side. The proposal calls for the Oregon Secretary of State's office to audit state agencies to find out what the shortcomings are in the current public records law and to provide legislators a roadmap for reform.
To come up with some recommendations for changes that would make the system work better and get those ready for possible legislation.
Changes to the public records law from the audit findings could come during the 2016 February session at the earliest. Republican Representative Julie Parrish supports Senate Bill 9, but she wants reform to happen sooner.
If we don't have access as citizens to what our government's doing, that you lose your democracy.
Representative Parrish's House Bill 3505 would speed up deadlines, lower fees to get public information, and end special exemptions for lawmakers. She tells me fees for public information should not be in the tens of thousands of dollars. She calls that stonewalling and double dipping.
The first thing that goes straight to my mind is, well, what are you hiding? Like, why aren't you making that available?
Representative Parrish says she's heard from several journalists who have been thwarted by loopholes in public records law from getting the full story out to the public.
We're going to judge what's newsworthy based on how much Metro is going to charge us. That is prohibitive to basically free speech and free press.
In Salem, Carla Castaño, KOIN 6 News.
You heard Carla mention exemptions. You know, there are more than 400 exemptions now allowed in the Oregon Public Records Law.
And almost all of those exemptions have been passed since access to government records in 1973 was granted following the Watergate scandal.